While the majority of aircraft carry passengers and their belongings around the world, there is a dark side to aviation. In today's video, we will talk about an aircraft that was so reliable, unique, and discreet that you would never have thought that this particular plane model would make up a fleet of 16 aircraft for the infamous El Chapo Mexican cartel. And before we begin, I would like to ask you to leave this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, please let me know in the comments if you have any ideas for future videos as well. Your activity truly helps us to gain traction, as our channel is still quite young, but we truly do our best to provide quality content about the wonders of aviation and value each one of you who supports us on our journey. Every aviation enthusiast has definitely heard about the Cessna aircraft company. Whether it is a 150 school plane, the widely produced 172, or the famous business jet, Citation. To be honest, among all the hundreds of different models, the 206 wasn't something new and unusual. Cessna had introduced the 205 in 1962, which was basically a simpler version of the Cessna 210. People liked the 205 because it had a lot of space and could carry a good amount of weight, so Cessna decided to improve what was already good, and in 1964, they came out with the 206. Cessna equipped it with a powerful Continental IO520A engine with 285 horsepower, made a few modifications to the fuselage itself, and also created a utility version with clamshell doors for faster and more convenient cargo loading. Well, we both know who would benefit from these doors, right? Later, the modification 206TU featured a turbocharged Lycoming IO580B105, pushing out 300 horsepower. For context, this is approximately 50% more power than what you'd find in the Cessna 172 Lycoming IO360L2A engine. This engine, and of course various DIY modifications Cartels did to reduce the base weight, allowed this plane to carry around 1,500 pounds of cargo. Just to provide some perspective, that's roughly the weight of about 700 bricks of chalk. Fitness and bodybuilding were indeed very popular in that time, so this would be enough for around 7,000 strongmans to chalk their hands. And in terms of range, with full load, it was capable of around 700 miles, which was more than enough for the needs it was covering. But there were many other planes with similar specs, even many other Cessnas. So why 206? First off, its ability to take off and land on just a 1,000 feet runway is a significant advantage. This compactness means you don't need a large airport. Any clearing or straight stretch of ground in remote areas can potentially serve as a makeshift runway. When you equip the 206 with Tundra tires, it becomes even more versatile. These special tires are designed for rough terrain, making dirt airstrips in dense jungles or rugged terrains viable options. Another strong point for the Cessna 206 is its reliability and repairability. Cessnas, in general, have a reputation for being robust and resilient. They can endure harsh conditions and still perform reliably. And if something does go wrong, the 206 is straightforward to fix. Its design prioritizes function and accessibility, making repairs less complicated than some other aircraft models. Lastly, because of the Cessna brand's enduring popularity and widespread use, spare parts for the 206 are never hard to find. There's a vast network of suppliers and vendors that stock parts for Cessnas, given their widespread use in various sectors from recreational flying to commercial operations. So, even if you're operating in remote areas or trying to maintain discretion, sourcing parts for the 206 doesn't turn into a logistical challenge. Cartels, in their quest for the ideal drug smuggling plane, considered several aircraft options. Among these, the Beechcraft King Air stood out as a prominent choice. The King Air, with its twin-engine setup, is a powerhouse in the aviation world. Its size and structure give it the ability to carry payloads approximately twice as large as the Cessna 206. On paper, this makes it a clear winner for transporting larger cargo quantities. But this business isn't just about sheer volume. It's a game of cat and mouse, where stealth, speed, and the ability to go unnoticed are crucial. This is where the Cessna 206 had a distinct advantage: its sound profile. During those days, monitoring technology wasn't as advanced as today's radar systems, and human patrols often relied on their ears as much as their eyes. In this setting, the relatively quieter hum of the Cessna 206 provided a sneaky advantage. El Chapo, known for his shrewd strategies, recognized this advantage. He made the strategic decision to invest in a fleet of Cessna 206. These planes, akin to silent bees, flitted across the continent, delivering their illicit cargo. Their presence was as subtle as a whisper in the vast expanse of the Latin American topography. Meanwhile, the more robust Beechcrafts, although capable of hauling more cargo, had a more pronounced acoustic footprint. Their deeper rumble, in contrast, could potentially alert patrolling officers or even local informants. Last but not least, let's face it, small planes receive less attention. While they still symbolize wealth, a Cessna 206 costs around 150 grand, whereas larger planes like the King Air start at $1 million. When doing bad things, you want to avoid drawing attention to your finances. Therefore, selecting an aircraft that is highly favored and widely used by other private pilots was a well-thought-out and strategic decision. Furthermore, it was so popular and easy to fly that there was no issue to find a pilot. And there you have it, the Cessna 206, brilliant aircraft that unfortunately had a turbulent past. But think about it. If it wasn't a reliable plane, it wouldn't have been chosen for such challenging duties. If you are considering to purchase one, be sure it had its strengths tested. As we sign off, remember that it's not just about the machine's capability, but also about the stories, both good and dark, that it carries. Fly safe, and always stay curious about the tales that soar above us.